Smart people believe their intelligence protects them from heartbreak. They trust their mind to keep them safe, to notice red flags, to reason with pain, to control the chaos. But love doesn't respect logic. It enters through the side door, quietly, like smoke. And by the time they realize it's toxic, they've already rationalized the poison as perfume. They say things like, "No one's perfect. They just need love. I can handle it." Their mind becomes a lawyer, defending the heart that's breaking. They turn pain into philosophy, chaos into meaning. They call it understanding, but it's survival. Carl Jung once wrote, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." Smart people understand this. They can name every psychological pattern, every defense, every trauma response. But naming the monster doesn't stop it from biting. Awareness without action becomes another form of denial, an intellectual cage that looks like healing, because sometimes knowledge doesn't set you free. It just teaches you how to stay and justify why you can't leave. Today we explore 5 reasons why smart people excuse toxic behavior. 1. They overanalyze everything. Smart people don't ignore red flags. They investigate them. They pick apart every argument, every silence, every shift in tone, as if clarity could somehow rewrite what's already hurting. Their mind becomes a microscope searching for reasons, because if they can understand the pain, maybe they won't have to feel it. They treat emotions like math, believing there must be a pattern, a formula, a solution hidden somewhere inside the chaos. But love isn't an equation to be solved. It's a storm to be felt, a truth to be faced. When logic becomes a coping mechanism, analysis turns into anesthesia. It dulls the ache just enough to stay, long enough to say, "It's complicated," instead of admitting, "It's over." They think understanding will protect them, but it only prolongs the lesson. Because sometimes the mind that sees everything is the same mind that can't accept what it sees. 2. They believe in potential, not reality. Smart people are visionaries. They see what others miss. They can look at a broken person and imagine their healing. Look at chaos and already picture the calm that could follow. Their mind paints possibility so vividly that reality starts to look like an incomplete version of their dream. They fall in love with who someone could become and excuse who they are now. Every apology becomes progress. Every small effort becomes proof of change. Every red flag becomes a challenge to overcome. They convince themselves they're being patient, when really, they're being rewritten by hope. Love turns into a project, and pain becomes the price of potential. But the truth is, you can't love someone's potential into existence. You can only lose yourself chasing it, because potential is a promise, not a person. And no amount of intelligence can build a future with someone who keeps destroying the present. 3. They empathize too deeply. Smart people feel too deeply and explain it even more. They can see the wound beneath cruelty, the fear behind control, the child behind the anger. Jung called this the shadow, the part of ourselves we hide and then search for in others. When intelligent people meet someone toxic, they recognize that shadow and mistake it for love. They say, "I understand them," and believe that understanding makes the pain meaningful. But empathy without boundaries becomes self-destruction. They give endless chances, forgive before change happens, and call it compassion. Yet what they're really doing is trying to heal their own wounds through someone else's chaos. They think if they love the darkness in another, it will finally make peace with their own. But you can't heal by becoming the mirror of someone's damage. You can only disappear inside it. 4. They fear being wrong. Smart people fear being wrong more than being unhappy. Their identity is built on making sense of things, so when love starts to hurt, They rewrite the story instead of admitting they misread it. They tell themselves it's just a phase, a misunderstanding, something they can fix, if they stay calm enough, patient enough, wise enough. They'd rather bend reality than accept that their intelligence didn't protect them. Because to say, "This person is bad for me," feels like confessing failure. So they stay, collecting justifications like evidence for a case that's already lost. They call it loyalty, understanding, growth, but it's pride in disguise. And that pride is the quiet voice whispering, "You can't be wrong about this," even as everything inside them is breaking. 5. They confuse insight with control. Smart people confuse understanding with control. They believe that if they can map someone's pain, they can manage it. If they can explain behavior, they can fix it. They treat knowledge like a key that can unlock change. But people aren't puzzles to be solved. They're storms to be weathered. The more they understand, the deeper they sink. Because empathy turns into strategy, and love turns into management. They keep studying the fire, thinking comprehension will make it stop burning, but understanding doesn't grant power, it only grants exposure. You can know every reason someone hurts you, and still stay because you're addicted to decoding them. They think awareness equals safety, but sometimes knowing too much only keeps you closer to the flame. And no matter how brilliant the mind, the fire doesn't care who's analyzing it. It just burns. Intelligence can explain toxic love, but only courage can end it. You can analyze every reason, trace every trauma, recite every quote from Jung, and still stay in the same silence that's killing you. Wisdom doesn't begin with understanding. It begins with action, with saying, "I see the pattern, and I choose peace over explanation." Because knowledge without boundaries is self-destruction in disguise. The mind can justify anything, the heart can forgive everything, but the body always knows when it's not safe. Healing starts when you stop translating someone else's pain and start listening to your own. Because love isn't something to be solved, it's something to be felt. And the smartest thing you can ever do is walk away from what requires you to lose yourself to prove your understanding. If this spoke to you, remember, you deserve a love that feels like clarity, not confusion. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a like, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. I really need your help to grow this channel. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.